This time on Pole Barn Garage, I got something real different for you. It's a 1974 Chrysler Imperial. I haven't done a Mopar in quite a while, and this is about the only Mopar that I can afford. This is the car we needed to come down to New Mexico to revive and drive, but actually it was all just a giant ruse so I could ask Jess to marry me.
Yeah.
But we still have work to do. It's actually not a bad Mopar. It's in typical New Mexican condition, I would say, with one exception. The interior is actually very nice. It's got a headliner. It smells. I mean, really. Look at that. I mean, come on. This is probably one of the better cars that Ma Mopar created. She shows 80,000 on the clock. I tend to believe it. I mean, just look at the wear on the seat. There's virtually none. By all accounts, the car has been off the road since 1987. Looks like somebody was stationed at Holloman Air Force Base right down the road with it. That's probably where she came from originally. One other interesting thing about the Imperial is that they actually came with four-wheel disc brakes. So we're going to have to dive into that later. See if we can get all that working. I'm sure it's going to be a little unusual, but we'll get it figured out. And it looks like something had a lot of the plug wires for lunch. What's this? It's some wiring eaten. The majority of the wiring seems to be in okay condition. Probably got to it just in time before the rats got at it. What do we got for carburation? Thermoquad or something else? Yep. Thermoquad. Loops free. We got a vacuum line chewed off there. Is that where you went, maybe? No? Well, I don't know. We got some figuring to do, but I guess the first thing we should do is make sure it's got oil in it and see if we can get it to crank. Oh, yeah. Hell, it even looks new. It'll be good enough to fire it up on. Can't help but feel there's a presence lurking overhead. One wrong move and it's game over. So if we're going to try to get this thing to crank, let me see if the gas smells bad. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll disconnect the fuel pump. It smells pretty bad. I would like to look at that before we dump gas in it and try to run it, you know.
It's nice. It is a certain smell, but it is nice.
It's not a smell I'm used to.
Ooh.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
We need a battery, roll the windows down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let this thing aerate.
Yes.
Oh, hey, let's look in the trunk. Hey, look.
Oh.
That's what, I think the only thing it's missing.
Yeah.
Part of it, anyway. Fun fact, this is actually still a unibody car. It's a subframe car. It has a front frame horn, but the rest of it, unitized construction. Even this huge. You can see, there's no frame. That's your frame rail, right there. And it's in really good condition. Thermoguard.
Yes.
You put that over the battery. Dude, I bet if you're a guy and you were looking for one of these, you think you could ever find that? Borrowed this battery from Sheridan, who is the one that led me to this car. I don't know if I should be thankful or kind of mad at him. Oh, hey. You get back. Damn Christ. Why is this shorter? We'll have to go get a battery that actually fits, but for now, let's just see if it burns down. If it burns down, we don't have to do as much, you know? So maybe some cleanup work. Get something to wedge under this thing. Hey, I bet there's some, WD-40 or something in. Boom. It does look like Camel cigarettes.
Yeah.
Cigarettes and tire plugs. I'd walk a mile for either. This isn't, the best way to do this, but it might help. We have limited power and no water out here, so there's not much we can do until we get it to move. That's badass. We got others? We sure should.
Oh.
Exercise a little. I mean, I'll take cracked, I guess. Ah, that one's stripped.
Hmm?
I'll take what I can get. This will let a lot of the air kind of flow through, you know? Well, that's pretty easy. The starter sounds good. I kept hearing something. It's the clock.
Oh.
You know, this would have been one of the nicest cars you could have bought in 1974. Probably upwards of $12,000 for this. $1974. That is an expensive car.
Oh.
Dude, that horn, it's like a train.
Wow.
Get the fuck out of my way. There's a Chrysler Imperial coming through town.
There's noise.
She's AM FM. Oh, 8-track.
Oh, you're in luck.
Oh, no way. Oh, hey, the antenna's down. No wonder. It works. Give her a tug.
Yeah, it's going. Oh my gosh.
FM. Come on. I bet the 8-track works.
Oh, you know it.
Blower motor?
Oh.
Nothing. Could be fuse. No brakes. You think it's $12? Oh!
Oh. Housing.
Ew.
Yeah.
Okay. Put
Okay.
that back for now.
Yep.
So we know she cranks. I'm gonna pop the alternator off. I'm pulling the alternator off so I can get to the fuel pump. They're really a turd to get to on these Chryslers. I don't know if it needs a fuel pump, but I would really like to disconnect the fuel line so we're not sucking up anything that's in there into this. If I'm gonna disconnect the fuel lines, I may as well just throw a fuel pump on it. This car is nice. Let's throw plugs at it. Let's throw wires at it. Let's not half-ass it. Let's put some work into this one. Little elbow grease. While I'm thinking about fuel, there's a chance this old thermoquad will just work. They're kind of like a quadrojet. They either just run and they're fine, or they're terrible. One or the other. We'll see. Pretty low miles. It looks pretty clean. I'm just going to fill up the vents. Just kind of let this stuff chew on whatever might be in there, and by the time we get to it, maybe she'll run. Yeah. Doesn't sound terribly good. I do have one of those. Maybe we toss a new alternator on it while we're here. Did I not mention that we need to drive this thing like 900 miles home? Well, we don't have to, actually. If we fall in love with the car, we will drive it home. If we don't, I'll find someone to buy it here. Either way, car lives again. I had ordered the wrong fuel pump ahead of time, apparently, so we'll be waiting a little bit on that. In the meantime, we can clean out the fuel line, make sure that's good. We can maybe throw some plugs at it, cap, rotor, you know, the basics. That's an antique. There, frame that bad boy. Old Purolator. I'm going to hate myself for this, but while I'm looking at it, I'm going to pop that lower hose off. It looks, oh yeah, that's in really poor condition. If we're going to be waiting on a fuel pump, we may as well address a lot of the little things we're going to have to do. They give you a nice little access hole for it. Awfully considerate of Chrysler. This thing better not be the turning point for me. Like, you know what? They're not half bad cars. That's not going to happen. Don't get your hopes up. Oh, winded son of a... In between the Klein multi-function screwdriver and the Klein lineman's knife here, I bet you can't tell what I did for a living. That's good. There must be just a little bit of antifreeze in it. There we go. It's in really good shape. Actually, it really is. It looks really clean. Ugh, yeah. Really, the coolant looked just fine. I'm just going to do a little impromptu flush with this water found sitting over there. Just let it run right out the bottom. Now I'm looking at it coming out and it looks clean. I don't think there's a bunch of crap in it. I think we got a good one. Yeah, I got the new lower hose on. That's progress. As well throw an upper hose on it, I suppose. Well, you know, maybe we ought to throw a thermostat in it. Snowball effect. It's happening right now. How's the water pump? Think it's good? Place your bets now. Should we just throw one on it? We should probably just throw one on it. Snowballing currently in the desert. I gotta pull the stupid AC compressor off just so I can get to the thermostat housing, so I can take out one bolt. The Chrysler strikes again. It's fine. Everything's fine. But while I've got that off, anything that is more convenient with it out of the way, I'm doing it. I really wanted to complain about that, but it's not that hard to remove. I mean, I really wanted to complain a lot.
You still can.
No, it was too easy. We need a lot of vacuum lines, like pretty much every single one of these.
Yeah.
They're all kind of varying diameters, so we'll have to make sure to get that when we make a parts run later. Well, it's not as good in there. Oh, hell. This thing's in good shape. There's a fair to middling amount of poop everywhere. I'm just going to take a shop vac. We do have power right there. I opened up the box and touched it, and that made the meter start working. I don't know. Okay, I'm not asking questions. Got a new thermostat in there. Thermostat housing on. Oh my god, this fan shroud is full of poop. I'm gonna take the water pump off and just throw a water pump at it, just for giggles. You might notice that the bolts are actually coming out. That doesn't happen at home. Yeah. It's not bad at all. I mean, that's totally usable, but it does have some barnacle buildup around it. Yeah, better safe than sorry. We'll keep it as a spare. A little bit of debris. Put our new water pump on. Well, I'm going to call the cooling system good enough after this. This little guy is the thermostatic spring. And they always get gummed up with crap like that. But this spring needs to be able to heat up and expand so to make the fan work. So for your clutch fan to work properly, that spring's got to be clean. Always a good idea just to clean them up real quick. Mopar purists will appreciate the fact that I am retaining the factory bale style clamp. See there that it is numbers matching. This proves to you that this car was in fact built on a Thursday. Yep. Needs a rotor, that's for sure. Cap doesn't look too bad, but we'll replace that anyway. This doesn't look all dirty and nasty. Feeling the mechanical advance, it seems like it works. They don't make these spark plugs very easy to get to, that's for sure. No fouling on that. Just burned to a crisp though. Running lean, real lean. Gap our new NGKs at 35 thou. I'm going to do the plugs in order. Firing order is 1843657 just like a GM. The only difference is it rotates counterclockwise, so it's kind of like a Pontiac. And number 8, not looking so whippy either. Not bad. I think it's just due for a set of plugs. Well, you fixed all the wiring over there.
Yes, I
You
did.
did fix it. You did. You crimped that one together.
Yes, I applied tape.
8 new plugs. 8 new wires. Sun's going down. Just want to go get something to eat.
Yeah.
Get some parts, battery, and all that crap.
Yeah, that's good.
Come back tomorrow?
Yep.
Alright. We're back at it this morning, trying to get this fuel pump stuck on here. It's fighting because it's a Mopar. You cannot get your fingers in there to start the bolts. Get this fuel line out of here. We should clean this out. I bought the wrong hose for the heater hoses. I was starting to put that AC compressor back on. No, you got to put these on first. And I bought 3/4 inch hose, which this car doesn't use. I did happen to find some 5/8 to 3/4 adapters in that can. That way I can adapt to the big hose, and then I can run the 3/4 hose. I can hook this to the heater core because I can get to it. You know, if it starts leaking or something, I can tighten the clamp a little tighter. But as far as the one that's on the engine, I need the 5/8 here because there's no room. The 3/4 actually runs into the AC compressor. It goes right down in here, and there's just very little room. So having that extra room with a smaller hose makes all the difference in the world. We have heater hoses. We have a radiator, theoretically. We've got a lot of wind. I'm gonna make a big mess. See anything pouring out of it yet? That's good. Got a new cap for it. Here we are. Probably don't need to replace this, but it doesn't feel very good. It's kind of packed full of crap. Now it's more packed full of crap. We'll use my new one. Everything's a very tight fit for such a big car. You know, I bag on O'Reilly a lot. When I shopped at AutoZone last night, those are the exact same belt number. Look at that. This is an older belt and this is the newer one. The packages were a little bit different. Same number. One of them is slightly shorter. Probably maybe 1/4 of an inch shorter, which doesn't work whenever you have to put them on the same pulley. But that's alright, we're not going to be using air conditioning, so we'll just call one of them a spare, and we'll just put one belt on our 2-groove alternator. Well, before we set to firing this thing off, I'm going to clean up some of these vacuum lines. Most of this is just emissions garbage. All of these are going to leak rock hard, splitting, eating. But like all this stuff here, that's just for cruise control, I think, which maybe eventually, but we don't need that right now, so we can just cap that off. Not yet. Oh, is it leaking? See if we got anything to the carb yet. It's wet. It's trying.
Oh yeah.
It's trying, isn't it?
Yep, it is.
Was it a good squirt?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's dump that down the throat. Very possible that carburetor's totally gummed up.
Yeah.
Why did it go all the ways? It wants to rev like a lot.
It's very ready to go.
Yeah, what's up with that? Why is it doing that? Oh God!
Huh.
When I gave it gas, when I was freeing up the carburetor, secondaries were stuck open.
Oh.
They're kind of just hanging open, doing their own thing here. I don't think that's right. Well, it runs.
Yeah.
I would prefer it not blow up immediately. That would be cool. Well, I shut them. Let's see what it does.
Oh yeah. Much nicer.
Listen to that.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Got to tighten that belt up a little more. Quiet. I think it's even got exhaust on it. Listen to that little baby run. It's a good car. I don't want to run it too long. It's still got its old oil in it, but I can't jack it up here. There's concrete over there that we can jack it up on. I'm going to check the transmission fluid, make sure that's good. Then I think we could, well, I'll tighten that belt up, and then I think we could drive it over there maybe. It only needs 1 quart. What a pile. temperature gauge come off of 0. I don't know what that means, but all right. You can see the brake light is on. It's detecting no brake pressure. I mean, that's kind of to be figured. Might be worth throwing some fluid in it though, and who knows? Maybe they'll work good enough that we won't run it into something.
That'd be ideal.
Yeah. We were running off of that jug there. I think I'm going to put that gas in our boat tank and run off of that. The thing is, it's empty, right? There's no gas in that tank. Well, we know it didn't rot a hole in it. It evaporated. And when old gas evaporates, it leaves a film of varnish, and the damn thing runs pretty good right now. Unless we can get that tank cleaned out, I think we probably just go boat tank with this. Jess is cleaning the bizarre hood hinge system this car has.
Just brilliant.
It's so stupid. It's kind of like a trunk hinge actually, but those sliders are supposed to slide down here, and it was all covered in old grease. That grease wasn't letting them slide, so in theory we clean it up, put some fresh grease on those sliders, and then we could shut the hood without having to beat on it. We got our fuel system installed. Yeah, it's quality. They're not permanent, but it'll work for now. I was going to see if we had any brakes. There's no fluid in it. The fluid went somewhere. Brake fluid does not evaporate. I'll dump some in, just for giggles. You never know. Tell me if any bubbles come out.
Yes.
Really?
Many bubbles.
Nice.
Like a little fish tank.
Look at that. Yep. Works like it should now.
Yep, that's right.
I didn't take into account the, that hose that...
That whole situation?
No, I didn't really think about that at all. If you can imagine.
No.
No brakes.
Oh no.
Power steering.
Fun.
Top off that power steering. Yeah, I think it's empty. Just a guess. Both all right?
Oh yeah. I can just walk.
Okay. See you over there.
Alright, bye.
One moment. There we are. The brakes work really good. It doesn't care, it's fine. Today's video is brought to you by Drift. Drift creates air care products for your car and your home using premium fragrance blends with no harmful chemicals that a lot of traditional air fresheners have. What's cool about Drift is you get it as a subscription, and their car products, they're priced from around $9 to $15. The cool thing is you're gonna get different scents every time, you know? If you're like me, you go to the parts store, you buy the same one every time, right? This kinda makes you experience new ones, and like right now, what with the snow and the horrible out there, I got the open air one. That way I could be reminded of spring and summer, not this. And they have them in stone, wood, or metal. This is the stone one. And you just clip it up on your visor. That smells really nice. It's not overpowering. They have home diffusers, and I've got one in the house now. So if you use my code GARAGE, you're going to save 55% on your first order. Go down to the pinned comment, the link in the description, or scan this QR code and save 55%. Thanks to Drift for partnering on this video. Check out the link below. Let's get back to work. Well, on that note, we should probably put some brakes on this thing. We've had to move out here to this concrete pad, which is very handy. And I'm just not about supporting a car on a pile of wood chips. So I got some jack stands. Let's get her up in the air, pop the wheels off, and see what we're working with. I borrowed this jack from Sheridan, guy who turned me onto the car. But even trying to do one corner at a time, this thing, it ain't gonna do it. I mean, the tire is technically off the ground, but that's about it. I think we're gonna have to go buy a jack. The only thing I've got is a little trolley jack. It won't be any bigger than this. Well, I'll send Jess after a new jack, just to be on the safe side of things. I don't really feel like getting squished.
I don't want you to either.
Nah.
No.
What we got for oil? Pretty watery, but clean. That jack just barely gets her up high enough for one notch on the stand. Well, I can at least change the oil while Jess goes and gets us a jack. Now, this is Sheridan. Now, he's the guy who knows about this car and all these other cars that are out here that I think we probably ought to do some stuff with. He's gonna pop the gas tank out of here, I guess. Put some VR1 in this thing.
Yeah.
It's that good oil. We're full of oil and almost out of gas tank. That's pretty ripe, man.
It is.
Feels really weird.
Yeah, that's no good.
Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know how much you guys can see. That's not good. There's actually quite a bit of rust in it, too. Oh, yeah. Look at that scale. I mean, it's good enough to clean and reuse, but I don't know if we can get that clean. I think I'll roll boat tank. Better safe than sorry, but at least we know. Jess will be here soon. I could probably go ahead and get this master cylinder off of here. Yuck. Yeah, that's pretty gross. Yuck. Yeah, it's bad for sure, but unfortunately, I think our new one is a little bit different. And, no, those are definitely not even close to the same. If that bore is the same size, we could potentially take the guts out of this, transfer them over into this. This is a disc drum master cylinder. This is a disc master cylinder. It's why the reservoir is like 50-50 and this one is like 80-20. Alright, so that's some of the guts of our new master cylinder. We're going to set those to the side. I mean, it kind of works. It just, oh, yeah.
Whoa.
It splooged all over me. Ew. Alright. You know, it's actually not in too bad a condition. It's just kind of gross. Now, I think the disc brake one is slightly bigger around. However, I might be able to use the new seal from the new one and just replace that rubber seal right there. This seal looks like it's in good shape still, but this one is leaking right there. Best I could tell, the only seal that's failed in this master cylinder is the outer seal. We can just get the one off our new piston here. And you might say, well, Dalton, just go get a rebuild kit for it. Listen here, Chuck, it's not 1977 anymore. Go walk into your parts store and say, I need a rebuild kit for anything. They're gonna go, oh.
Meanwhile, Sheridan's over here mowing the grass.
There's a lot of jobs.
How's that going there, bud?
Hey, bearings freed up. Pretty good.
You see this? It's a simple screwdriver, yes? No. It has now become a hone with a shop towel. Up too much. Sheridan had this master cylinder honing kit in his trunk of his Charger. 2 pieces of little sandpaper. Perfect. There's just like one little rough spot in this bore that I don't like. So if I could just get that smoothed out, I think we'll be okay. Very conservatively now. I'm gonna... Oh yeah. No, it's good.
Cool.
I'm not going as far in as it probably should, but it'll help. So let me throw this thing back together, and then we'll bench bleed it on the car, and that'll build up pressure in it, and that'll tell us if it's gonna work or not. And just like that, refurbished. Let's see what happens.
Bubbling. The back one's bubbling. Oh, one little bubble out of the front. Ooh, a few more bubbles. Moving.
It's holding pressure because
Cool.
I got a good firm pedal.
Yeah, that's very geysery in front.
Here's your rear disc brakes. Now you can buy pretty much all this, but you cannot buy rotors. Well, that's good enough progress for today.
Let's eat.
Let's go grab some grub and let some brake lines soak in some penetrant and come back tomorrow and try to get the rest of the brakes working. We're back at it today, and boy, that wind has really picked up. I mean, it's crazy. I feel like I'm gonna blow away out here. Let's get started on some brakes, I guess. Well, it's a little better in here. Play a little brake line roulette, maybe. And we get lucky. Please. Oh yeah, no problem. Let's do the fronts first. I do have new calipers for it. I might use them, I'm not sure yet. Not gonna lie to you, I didn't order enough brake hoses for this car. I've got enough to do the front, but I am missing 2 for the rear. So the good thing is one of the rear ones is the same as the front. So if we could salvage any of these, like this one actually doesn't seem bad. If they'll work, well, that would be a godsend. There we go. Those are brand new pads. It's like it got parked with brand new brakes on it. It feels good, but it looks kind of watery to me. It's worth going in there, taking the time, and just repacking the bearing, and no brainer, but it feels wonderful. You could drive on that, it'd be just fine. Good God. Jesus. We're gonna be browned out here. I'm not gonna be able to see. There goes my hat. Shoot. Go to polebarmerch.com. Get you a hat before they're gone. My God. Yeah, it was due. Dude, it is bad. Look at all that. I've had this off for maybe 2 seconds, and all that grit has gotten into that. Actually, now that I cleaned it off, that bearing's bent. Look at that. Flat on one side. Well, scratch that. Let's just put all new bearings in it. I got them. Might as well use them. I am getting sandblasted. I don't know where my hat went. Oh my God. It's painful. It's very painful. I'm gonna have to put the camera in here, otherwise it's gonna get trashed. Let's see you guys in a minute. Got that done. New caliper on. I just reused the brake pads because they're new, and frankly they looked better than the ones I bought. We got a new hose. I'm gonna repeat on this side over here because it's a little bit less windy over here. Then we're gonna jump into the rears. Try to get this done. It's before we die of exposure. The brake's done on this side, bearings done. We got to move to the rear. Good news, the rubber hoses on the front of the car seem good, and I believe they are the same as the ones on the rear of the car, so we should be able to reuse them if we have to. Jess is running a fuel line to the boat tank in the trunk, or where it will be in the trunk. Look how solid this thing is. That's pretty cool. How's that going? Yeah?
Swimmingly.
Also, my hat, long gone. Did you go to polebarnmerch.com and get one before they were gone? I hope you did. Well, that's good news. We have brake fluid back here already on both sides of this rubber hose. Now, this hose is the only one I thought looked really questionable. Because of all the buildup around it, it kind of makes me think it might have been leaking. Probably just use one of the old front ones that I know this one's good. Could use a set of pads, at least the outer one. This is pretty worn. I don't know. Weird. It's like it's not centered on there probably, which I guess it probably isn't. I do have new calipers. I think I'll probably try to use them. They do look slightly different, but hopefully they'll work. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. The new pads are too thick. It doesn't allow it any room. It's not the caliper's fault, it's the Chinesium brake pads. They're made a little bit different. They're thicker, and that doesn't leave it enough room. So, what we're gonna do is replace the heavily worn pad with one of the new ones, and then we'll put the old inner pad back in, which I think is original. So, it's only 50 years old. Then she fits like it's supposed to. And the drama continues. Not only are we about to get blown away, now I would estimate visibility is about maybe a quarter of a mile. They sent me the wrong caliper. This is another driver's side caliper. That doesn't help me. Hopefully we can reuse that one. If I have to, I could make this work and flip it upside down, bleed it, and then install it. But, I mean, really, this doesn't look that bad. Jess is back. We had some lunch. And now we have, you know, protection. Let's bleed some brakes. Oh, we can. All right, pump them. All right, we got them all bled. Even the refurbished one seemed to work. She says the pedals, oh hell. Yeah. It's got good brakes.
Oh yeah.
Not bad. So brakes are done, but this U-joint back here is pretty bad. I'm gonna at least get the drive shaft out today and make sure we get the right U-joints. Also, tail shaft bushing is pretty bad too, but what are you gonna do, you know? This sucks.
I don't know what you're complaining about. Come on.
I'm gonna take these to Sheridan's and do them there, I think, instead of out here, you know. Not that it's not super nice here, but it kind of sucks. I get my nose bra on. Oh God, yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's junk. I think the weather's getting to us pretty good here. It's it really is. It takes it out of you. We did get one other thing done. We got tires mounted up. I brought these along. They were off of that Wagoneer that I had. The guy had put brand new tires on it for some reason. That they're just about the right size for this. So there we go, free tires. Well, shit, I can't put it on the ground, can I? I got to put U-joints in. Dang it. All right, well, I'll throw these on because I'm literally worried about the car blowing off of the stands out here. So, if I put tires on it, at least maybe it won't get totally destroyed. And big thanks to Darian, who ran these things into town for us, got them mounted up while we were able to do other things. That was very nice of him. Well, we're back at it today, and I did not get the drive shaft done last night at Sheridan's, but I did eat tacos, and that's almost the same. Gotta do U-joints. Darian's here. He's been helping and stuff. He's gonna assemble my Harbor Freight grease gun and lube up this turd. I brought everything with me except my kneeling pad. My knees are not happy about that. Well, this Bauer Impact has just enough balls to do that. How's that lube job going?
It's going all right.
Yeah?
You got a split upper ball joint over there, but it's fine. They're
Just the
taking
lube,
grease.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all still seems pretty solid. Just dried out.
Yeah, you just put more grease in it. Fixed. Well, my help is leaving. but at least I don't have to crawl under there. Goal for today is we're gonna have like a little meet and greet thing here in town. So got to get this drivable, hopefully washed, and then take it to that. Jess had to run into town for some errands, and the U-joint straps for this are in the Tahoe, of course. So I figure I might as well try to check the diff lube. Oh yeah, shoot, it's hardly low at all, and it looks like brand new. I might top it off just a little bit, but it's fine. You can't even see it on my finger. It's like brand new grease. Finally got smart, started buying it in bags. Yeah, it took like a quarter of that. It's good to go. We're gonna pull it back to where it was and clean up the interior and stuff in it. Off camera, I had to put 6 quarts of transmission fluid in it. I'm sure that's not a problem. It drove over here, no problem. It did it exceptionally well, actually. It stuck full throttle again. I don't know anything about thermoquads. I've messed with one like once, and it just kind of ran and worked. Something's wrong with the linkage here. Well, it's working right now, but it's just stuck. And maybe because it's all gummed up, or I don't know. Things just kind of, they don't return on it very well, you know? I think I'm gonna bitch out. I'm gonna go get a Edelbrock and an adapter plate and just play it super duper safe. Honestly, the car's nice enough to deserve a new carburetor anyway, and I really have very little money in this. I think I'm at like $2 grand. So I'll probably run into town, go grab one of those, and I'm gonna leave you with Jess, who's going to clean the inside of this. Bless her heart.
There's our first carcass. That's pretty cool. This is why we're wearing gloves. So, it's not just regular poop. It's... You can't even... Yeah. Isn't that great?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do about that.
Soak it in upholstery cleaner and hope it frees up.
Okay, I'll try that.
Close it, never open it again.
Good idea. So, I guess we're just gonna do one of these numbers. It'll come out. Okay, yeah. That's great news. Good news.
I have returned. I'm gonna get the thermoquad off of there. Got the AVS2. It's my go-to put on car will run carburetor. There we are. And we're gonna keep this just in case I, for some reason, can't make that work. I could try to rebuild it. This is looking so much better.
Oh yeah, let me tell them about this. So this is the OxyClean interior foam. You just spray it on there and it lifts all that crumb up. Now it leaves it a little bit foggy looking, and so this stuff that doesn't do anything to clean shines it back up without making it too armor-all-y.
Like this.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
This has been so easy. I mean, gross, but very easy.
It smells better.
Yeah. It's bearable in here now.
Yeah. Thermoquad carburetor linkage. Very, very different than Edelbrock throttle linkage. So, I just bolted the throttle cable here. It's got enough play that it's actually not a problem. And then I was able to get the kickdown bar off of the thermoquad, and it actually lands in almost the same spot. That is critical. You need that on a torque flight transmission. So hopefully it's close. If not, we can make some adjustments. It's pretty ghetto, but I think it'll work. Let's see if I've made things better, worse, or maybe at least doesn't try to go full throttle all the time. Oh man, it's like a summer day in here.
It's so much better, huh?
I don't know if it's better or worse, whatever. better tighten that belt up. Again. Wow. This came shipped. It was closed. These are all jacked up. One of them was like half a turn and the other one was like 2 turns. I think somebody was getting fidgety with it in the package. Let's go both of them 1.5 for starters. Now, I don't know why it took me like 3 days to figure this out, but I just got in here. Tilt column, you know? But, tilt telescope. How cool is that? It's like a Corvette, almost. Well, it runs good. Just really got this interior looking really nice.
You can go.
And you don't even
die.
Yeah, it's great in here now. However, it is too damn windy here for us to try to... We were going to do like a spray vinyl top bed liner deal. It's just too windy. We don't want to get it all over the car. We're going to pack up, try to cruise this thing into town for the first time, and go find a car wash. See if that TV rod thing is even sort of right. The brake light is on the dash. I'm not really sure why that is. Who knows what the timing is. First time on the road in nearly 40 years. Transmission feels okay. It must not be too far off. The whole thing is just full of sand. Drives nice though. Speedo works. Drives really straight. I'm gonna slow down. Ooh, it still kind of stinks in here. And then brakes. They do brakes. That'll work. Hell yeah. This thing drives really nice. I think the transmission's totally fine. My God, is this thing comfortable? When you hear people joke like, hey, you're driving a couch. No, this is literally driving a couch. That is what this vehicle is. It is a couch. What do you got, 440? Oh, yeah. I think it needs the timing set, or maybe that centrifugal advance is a little wonky. Something's not quite right, but we can probably figure it out. Big thing is we're cruising, we're driving. It ain't that bad. Cruising my way into Alamogordo in my Chrysler Imperial. It might as well be 1975 as far as this car cares. We got a brake. It's that one caliper. Oh, yeah.
It smells toasty.
Yeah, I think it's that's the one old caliper. I'm wondering. Every other one is fine, just that one. Yeah, I heard it grabbing pretty good, so we'll need to fix that. I was wondering why it was so gutless. Trying to drive through a brake. It charges, it runs fantastic, drives well, and it's super comfy. Gotta start with the pre-soak, you know. There it is. This is like if I put this sprayer on my garden hose, it'd be something like this. Well, we'll do our best. I could probably pee on it, it'd be better. Well, that didn't do anything at all. That's not rust, that's dirt. It just won't come out. It might be worth trying to save this or make it look a little bit better. We'll see. In the meantime, you guys could go to polebarnmerch.com and get you some of these sweet PBG fuzzy dice. Look at that. Who else has those? Nobody. There we go. She's coming alive. I got a spare mounted up. At that place where the car was, there were 4 brand new Goodyear radials. Polysteel radials. You know these are late 70s or early 80s. They're beautiful. They look great. I almost was going to drive home on them. And I'm like, I probably shouldn't. You know, they may be brand new, no cracking, but they're still an old tire and you can't trust them. So I mounted one up for a spare anyway. It's definitely good enough for that. I'll bring the other 3 home. We'll put them on something. But I would rather feel them out, drive them at home to test them rather than drive 1,000 miles right away. We've just been having a little meet-up with some fans and just car people, you know, around, and this custard place. It's delicious. The Imperial, it fits in with those 2. Hi, everybody.
Hi!
All right, now we have to go find food.
Please.
Look at them dash lights. Ignore the brake light. That doesn't matter. That doesn't mean anything. Very cool, though. Ready to sample some local cuisine?
Absolutely.
At Chili's?
Again?
It's still here this morning. Go figure. We're gonna drive over to Sheridan's place. I don't want to do that break here. It's not too far. We could do it at his house. And maybe we'll scrub it up, make it look a little better. I don't know. We got one more day to do something with it. Biggest thing is just got to fix that brake. That's pretty much it. No smoke. Looks good. A little cold-blooded. I wired the choke open on it. So that brake, you know, it's a little annoying. I get it, you know. It doesn't sound very classy, but that's okay. Because you just crank the Steely Dan in your Imperial and just cruise. And you don't even know anything's going on. Oh yeah, it's back. I don't hear that at all. All I'm doing is the Lido shuffle, you know? Yeah. Get that heat out of there. I'm gonna pull the Imperial in. So I cruised pretty hot and heavy over here. Yeah, it's warm. Really unfortunate that that numbers matching hose clamp started leaking. I have to give it a proper burial, I guess. Well, by the time we fix this fire hazard, that might be cooled off. So, it actually isn't the brake being stuck. That's a good thing. It's the pad grinding its way through the hub. That's, you know, less than ideal. This moves a lot. Like, more than I think it probably should. You can see, here's the factory pad, and it doesn't have anything in the middle there to rub on the hub, right? So, there ain't a whole lot left of them, but that's kind of all we have. So, I think if I put the original pads back in, we won't have this problem. Beware of China. Look how the old pad doesn't cut through the hub. Isn't that amazing? We should probably look at the other side too, because it's probably doing the same thing, or it might do the same thing. Either way, I'm gonna deem this one fixed. Look, this side doing the exact same thing. Weird. Well, let me put all the old hardware back in. It's fixed, maybe. Have Jess hit the brakes and see if we can get it to squeeze.
Brake.
Just keep pumping.
Okay.
Looks like it's doing the thing.
Yeah, it's getting harder.
Nice. It's fixed. And let this cool off enough that I can change this numbers matching hose clamp here. really a shame. I'm very upset about this. There we go. Dear Mopar guys, I have a numbers matching upper radiator hose clamp. Only $499 for this. Get it while you can. I've got the whole crew here. We need a battalion of people to tackle this battleship. So Jess made a bunch of her scrubbies. You can get on her Etsy.
Etsy.com/SheShedCreativeShop.
Once upon a time, I had a crackhead tell me that the best way to make your car clean again, if it's like this, is to use Goop hand cleaner and something abrasive. I guess it's probably just like a Comet wash, but he said it made it shiny instead of killing the paint. Now, I trusted that crackhead's wisdom, and here we are. So we wet the surface down and scrub, and I'll be damned if it doesn't look like it's working.
It does. Look at this.
Yeah, it's white.
Wow.
That's a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's good enough to drive on, you know. This side of the car is pretty good, actually. A little light polish would bring this back pretty good. Not going to do that right now, but at least it's clean. It's not embarrassing. What is embarrassing is this roof. We need to do something about that. So we're going to pull it back into the shade over there and do something about that. We're now going to apply a custom vinyl top. We got to fill in this ravine here. So, a little Gorilla Tape. That'll do. That's what Chrysler did. What are you running away for? There's 4 cans. Come on now. This is good stuff. I don't know why mine's not very textury. Yeah,
Mine isn't either at all. It's just the texture of the roof.
See if you get runs,
Right here.
just run them off.
Okay.
Just run them off into the duct tape there, and it'll fill it in. Okay, so don't buy the Rust-Oleum truck bed liner. It's really, really crappy.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah, it sucks.
In this video, we show you
How to remove.
It's alright.
Yeah, it's okay.
So if we just add a little texture,
Let's take this.
you see. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. That looks way better though. On the sun, let it bake. It'll wrinkle, kinda. It looks like a vinyl top from 10 feet away. It's 1,000% better than it was. Sheridan, Jess, and I, we're gonna go look at some petroglyphs in the Imperial because, that's what you do, right? Get a car running and then go be tourists in it with our local guide. Yes. This thing is just a highway machine. Love it.
Awesome, man.
65. Yeah, we've just been cruising out here in the desert for, 10 miles or so. It is just happy as can be. It's a good car. And it's comfy. Lots of room. Yeah. Hell yeah. The whole image is just hood. It's a pretty good maiden voyage. Did good. Oh yeah, yeah. That's pretty cool.
Look at this one over here.
Way off yonder. See the great white whale. You should just leave it here as a tourist attraction. They'd love it. This is really cool.
This is awesome.
It is really cool.
And it's like all the stuff you see on Ancient Aliens and stuff.
Yeah.
All the signs are right here.
Ancient astronaut theorists suggest. Off the beaten path over here.
Looks pretty cool too.
Got another goat or a ram. That's a lot of lines in that portal.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Look at, I mean, they're just.
Looks like
Is that a boat?
That's what I thought. Had a boat with some men on it, huh?
There's a snowman.
Well, we've just been wandering around in the desert for a while, looking for stuff. This is my happy place here. If it's not a junkyard, it's something like this. Back to town, I guess. Well, I made it back to the hotel. I think we did like, oh shoot, almost 100 miles on this thing today. And it's fine, except for the power steering belt loosened up. It just stretched, cheap ass belt. I'm gonna tighten that up, and I think we're gonna hit the road for home tomorrow. That's tightened up. That is very important because it's the only one that runs the water pump. So we do need that belt for sure. I picked up a spare just in case this is a constant issue. What a slick machine this car has turned out to be. It is time to go home or start heading that way. So there's another dust storm moving in today in about 2 hours. It's already very windy. I don't know how far we're gonna make it, but we at least got to get a couple hours under us. Just gassed up. We used 7.5 gallons yesterday, and I don't think we drove quite 100 miles. Probably 11 miles to the gallon or so. 12-gallon boat tank, 5 gallons in reserve. Better play it safe and stop every 100. 870 miles to go. See if the old Imperial's got it in it after a nearly 40-year nap. Well, I don't know what that temp gauge means, but it's warmer than I've seen it. I mean, it's doing just fine, but we may want to look at that and just make sure nothing's popped off or something. I probably should have put an actual gauge in it, but well. The other thing I noticed is the alternator is charging a lot. Probably should have thrown a regulator on it. We'll see. It's possible I should just slow down. I've been doing like 85 miles an hour. I mean, you know, and the car's been sitting for 40 years. Well, she cooled right off as soon as we, you know, got off the highway and slowed down. I don't know. Maybe it's low or something. Let's see if it's leaking. Hose leaking a little bit. Or maybe it's the radiator. Sure looks like it's just coming around that hose. It's warm. And it's boiling over. Oh. Yep. Radiator. Well, that's not ideal. It would have to do it when we go to leave. Son of a gun. I thought we had a good radiator in the desert. Yeah, that's problematic. It's still holding pressure somehow. By some luck, there's actually a junkyard about a mile away. Let's go see if they have anything. Maybe we'll get lucky. The car itself is running just fine. I mean, it's totally cool right now. But it ain't gonna last very long if we can't keep it in the radiator. This is a pretty good little junkyard here, actually, in Carrizozo. But he doesn't have any radiators. He does have some cars I would like to buy. He had this aluminum stop leak stuff. I mean, it'll work, but it'll probably seal it up. But the problem is, there's a big ass hill we got to climb over here. It'd be very, very sketchy. Let's see if it seals up, and we'll just kind of figure out what we need to do. To be honest with you, I don't need this car. Maybe we just leave it down here and we'll sell it to somebody and just go home. At least we've saved it. This is basically aluminum and sawdust. Let's top it off and fire it up, see if it's leaking. It seems to be holding for now. Screw it, I guess if we go up the hill, we can always go back down the hill, right? Yeah. I guess we'll see if that stop leak works. I mean, I've used it before and it has worked, but I can't say I've ever tried to drive 900 miles on it. It's not leaking currently. We're about halfway up the hill and it's doing just fine, although it is starting to creep up a little. I don't know. I mean, it's in the normal range. It's fine. But now that we've driven it some, put it under some loads, built some pressure in it, I'm going to pull off now and we're going to check it before we get way out in the middle of nowhere. Like, as it sets right now, I'm pretty sure the car would drive back to Alamogordo and not leave us stranded out in the middle of the desert. That would be nice. I shut the car off, that way it'll actually get hotter, maybe build some heat. Alright, let's see. If the stop leak worked now, I'm pretty confident in it, but that's a lot of pressure on that system. Is it boiling? No.
Okay.
Let it sit for a minute, build up pressure, and see if it separates again. Okay, now it's sat long enough to boil, and
Yeah.
there it is. Shit. I mean, it's fine when it's running. Of course it's going to be fine. What I'm worried about is we got to climb a hell of a grade.
Yeah.
And we still got another 700 miles after we get up that grade. I think if I'm going to sell it anyway, I think it makes more sense to drive back to Alamogordo. And then I'll have Sheridan sell it, maybe one of you guys. And, because I don't need it. We have the LTD. We already have one of these. I was only down here to propose to you. That's the only reason this happened. So,
It's a great car.
It is a good car. It just needs a damn radiator.
Yeah,
it's
that
no
would be
big
the
deal.
only thing.
I'm sure a flush and a radiator would help a lot. I mean, it's probably fine. It might even make it home, but it's not worth it to me. I just kind of want to go home. I accomplished my mission, which was proposing to her. It has nothing to do with this. Screw it. Let's whip a Yui. It's totally fine now. We're also going downhill, but it is completely fine right now. So much for avoiding the dust storms. Getting pretty serious out there. Just a little further to go, and it never did anything too weird, but it did start to get hot again when it was, I mean, I was pushing it, 75, 80 miles an hour, but I was just trying to see if it would act right, and it's not gonna. Well, we're back at Sheridan's. He's at work because he has like a job and stuff. Here's where this car is going to stay for a minute. I mean, it's fine. I could probably solder that back together and make it work, but I don't need it. I'm just going to take it home and sell it. We drove the car 250 plus miles. It did great. This will make someone a good car, but I don't need it. I've got 30 other cars. So the important thing here is that we saved it. I mean, it was sitting there for 40 years, and now you can get in the car and drive it. Fix that radiator, you can drive this car every day. It'd be fine. Oh, and clean the gas tank. You can do those at the same place. I do have to get home. So you know that new shop I'm building? Well, today is Thursday. We got to be home by Monday, because Monday I got to be there to go pay for it. As far as the Imperial goes, either Sheridan's going to end up with it, and it'll be in a good home. Maybe I could trade him for one of these Chargers or something. It's something to think about. Or, by the time this video goes out, we're going to know if we are going to sell it or what. Mission accomplished, car saved, car pretty, drove car. Let's go home.
Okay.
We'll see you guys next time on Pole Barn Garage. I guess, you know, if you really want this or something, just shoot me an email. It'll be here in Alamogordo, New Mexico. So, and I can get you set up with it or whatever. You're gonna have to wait on a title for it. We are in the dust storm, and also this is right about where we stopped with the Imperial and turned around. About 120 miles or so from where we started. And this is where you start to go up. You got mountains over there, and not mountains, but you know, kind of foothills. But you're a gradual climb all the way up to 40, and this is where I was like, I don't know if that radiator, we're going to build a lot of pressure in that radiator doing this constant for the next 80, 90 miles or so. Like, it's super gradual. It's not like it's not like you're just climbing a hill, but that, like, we're driving this way, the car was running warm. Then we turned around and went back to Tularosa. That was fine, because it's downhill.
So many tumbleweeds.
I definitely did not forget to mention thanks to Drift for sponsoring today's video. Please check the link in the description and use code GARAGE to get 55% off your first month. See? I'm a pro YouTuber. We'll see you guys.